Thank you for joining us in viewing this video series. Thank you for your time and that dedication that you have provided. I know that through your efforts and the things that have maybe inspired you or put a thought in your mind of something you can do will help our community be stronger. Will save lives of individuals. I know and I want to let you know that there is hope. There is hope for tomorrow. There is hope that we can make a difference in the life of somebody that may be the very closest person to us. There's hope for recovery. When you find yourself with somebody that may be struggling with these thoughts or has made an attempt, or somebody that knows someone that has gone through this type of an experience, we want to remind you to be compassionate, be kind, seek to understand their perspective without judging them. Be willing to embrace the discomfort and have a difficult, pure, honest conversation with them. Our hope for you is this. If you are somebody that's experienced a loss or is supporting somebody that has these struggles and these battles of suicidal thoughts and behaviors, our hope is that you have been able to be inspired and know what you can do to help. Our hope for you that may be struggling with these thoughts and or have survived an attempt, thank you for being here. Thank you for being willing to do what you have done to be here today. Our hope is to let you know that there is hope, that you are loved, that you are cared about, that we need you and we want you here. Thank you for being with us.
Suicide has impacted my life in a couple different ways, but the biggest one that always comes to mind first is my brother-in-law. He and my sister met in high school and they dated off and on for a while, and after high school they got serious and they had a baby together and she's adorable, and my sister and my brother-in-law got married and they kind of had a rocky relationship. They were on and off because there was a lot of kind of domestic abuse happening, and it was a tricky situation for sure. My brother-in-law dealt a lot with personal mental issues, anxiety, and a lot of depression issues and things like that. And so his family was very anti-therapy, anti-counseling, anti-even kind of prescription drug stuff. But then it would come out in acts, like him and my sister would get in fights and then they would get in physical altercations. The hardest part about all of it, I think, looking back, is a lot of the struggles and things that they were having internally, my sister and he were not sharing with anyone else. We knew that they were kind of physically arguing and having problems because she would reach out to us for help if she needed it or whatever, but things had gotten so bad between them that she just couldn't be in the relationship anymore and tried to leave, and it wasn't working out like she wanted. And so she tried to leave and he was at the house alone, and he basically had told her, "We're over, we're done, don't come home." And she went to check on him. He did it. He died by suicide. You get all these emotions when you get the news, like you want to help the person not be in that situation. Like your inner thoughts go to like helping them, almost like you want to save them from it. My sister had called my mom sobbing because my sister went to their house to go get some things, and this is when she started divulging to us more information. And apparently over the years that they had been together, he had struggled with suicidal ideation, and he hadn't told anyone but her, and he had told her, "Don't tell anybody," because it was looked at in his family and his friend group as like a weakness. And people would say things like, "How can you be so selfish as to think of committing suicide?" And they would say that about other people that they heard stories from, not him, because they didn't know he was thinking that. But he would hear things like that and it would make him close off and not want to tell anybody about it. So when she called my mom, she's like, he finally did it. And my mom didn't even know what she was talking about. And so she had gone to the house and knocked on the door and he wasn't answering. She just knew that he had done it. So she called the police and they came and they knocked on the door and he didn't answer. So they busted the door down. They went in, no one was answering, and they went upstairs and they had found him in the closet and he had hung himself. And that was really hard for all of us to hear, and I could see myself running into their closet and getting him down. And it is a really hard feeling to get over that, to feel like you could have stopped it, even though there's no way no one could have. So we just made sure funeral arrangements got made and that someone was always with her. And it was hard because we had to go clean out her old house that they lived in together, and kind of the saddest part that he because he didn't allow himself to get help, basically because of stigma and judgments and everything. His suicidal ideation was allowed to just play out. It was a little scary to kind of see for so long he had been planning something like this, and our society has gone so long with pushing it away and pushing it because it's so taboo. It kind of allowed it to happen. That always makes me super sad. She is finally in a really good place every year on his birthday. She's very vocal about her story and about how suicide has affected her life. And after he had committed suicide, she had a couple of close friends that also committed suicide. So it has impacted her life in huge ways. And she's a very huge proponent in suicide awareness and the struggle that people kind of go through. I think it helped that our family unit, me and my brothers and sisters and parents, were willing to be open and honest about what had happened and willing to talk about it.
Anyone who is struggling right now, you are loved, and you will be missed more than you could possibly imagine.
I wish in society it was a comfortable thing that we could talk about.
Today isn't forever. Feels like it, but it's not.
I have the power to change myself.
It will get better and life will be worth living again.
One day you'll be the key to someone else's survival.
It's not their fault that they were struggling. It's no one's fault.
It's just so important to take care of yourself. You are a person with anxiety, not an anxious person. You are a person who has been through trauma, not a traumatized person. You're a person experiencing suicidal ideation, not a suicidal person.
We want you here for our lives and our family and for our future kids' lives.
You do have so much to live for. You may not realize it. You don't know what's coming to you in the future.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.